anybody else have any other questions for Pete and Connie? Okay, if not, congratulations on your
Yeah,
car.
great.
Oh, and I have to tell you that this past summer, I was at my business, and there was a knock on the door, which I don't get many visitors because everything I do is usually mail order. And there was a young man who came to the door, and he asked me if I knew Pete Lee. Well, he had been Pete's college roommate at Gettysburg a few years back, and somehow he found out that Pete was in the magazine, I think, and he was trying to find how to get a hold of Pete. So I gave him his phone number, and I think he has called Pete and talked to him. I'm not sure if you've gotten together to visit. Not yet. And the stranger thing and how small a world it is, his college roommate's grandson played baseball with my son in high school. So it's a very, very small world. All right, our next car and owner is Turner Smith. He's from Glen Allen, Virginia. We don't have any local people. It's a 1964 2CV, and he's owned it for 15 years. He doesn't own any other Citroëns, but this one's pretty darn nice, so maybe one's enough. He found the car in the Washington Post, and there was went through a chassis off restoration 10 years ago. He's self-employed in the Medicare insurance and financial advice business. This car was bought from Dominique Ballet, which some of you may or may not have known, was in business down in Cobb Island, Maryland, many, many years ago. So, does anyone have any questions?
I drive the car somewhere every week.
How many miles?
And average about 42 miles per gallon coming up, and I've averaged as much as 48 miles to the gallon. It's just a good runner.
Now, does it have the original engine in it, or is it?
Yeah, as far as I know. Yeah.
So it's still, what, 18 horsepower? And what's 29, and what is your maximum speed?
It'll run 100 club.
60 miles an hour.
Yeah, I'll ride 60. But it's very reliable. Knock on wood.
So, you say you drive it weekly, usually on the weekends, or?
I drive it somewhere every week around town, around Richmond. And so the car is seen all over town.
Great, great. Anybody?
Who knows? I don't know. I have no idea.
When you did the restoration, was the engine rebuilt then, or is it?
I've had the engine rebuilt, actually, probably 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
And put new seals in it. So it's done well.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks for Now we have Lou and Joanne Bevere. Come on over.
That's my car.
Oh, am I at the wrong car? Oh, this says Lou Bevere. Yeah, they're trying to screw with me.
You wish.
Lou and Joanne are from Cannonsburg. That's southwest of Pittsburgh. Again, nobody comes from 5 miles away. It's a 1987 CX-25 GTI, and he's owned the car for 4 years. And if I remember correctly, it replaced the DS21 that you were involved in an accident in. We had a very beautiful DS21 before this that was totaled in an accident.
Great red truck ran a red light and knocked the whole nose off. Was the end of that.
So now they've got a very beautiful GTI. He bought his first DS21 new in 1970, and he's had 5 other Citroëns prior to this car. This car came from Holland by way of CXA Automotive, and it's one of the nicest CXs going, I think, guys. So, and Lou, I think for many years, how many years have you been in business, Lou? Lou owns a front-end alignment shop in Cannonsburg, and I know a lot of people that travel to a long distance to go to Lou's shop to get a good job done on their front-end alignment. So,
That makes it better.
does anybody have any questions for Lou?
When are you selling it?
When are you selling it?
Probably not. I'm gonna hang on.
I have to tell you that Lou's a determined Citroën owner. I remember the first year that Lou bought this car, he brought it to Carlisle. Oh, yeah. And he got here, and I'm not sure what the problem ended up being, but the starter wouldn't work. And it wouldn't start. And that had to be a very, very discouraging year.
Dragged me back up with the car looks exactly like that. With his black. He dragged
But
me.
anyhow, Lou's got it in good running order now and can be very proud of it, I think. So how often do you drive the car, Lou? No salt. Don't blame me.
There's no rust.
Very beautiful car. Congratulations on your car. Good to see you. Oh yeah. Okay. Actually, we've almost passed one. Good. This is Joe Petrie. He's from Philadelphia. Again, nobody comes from next door. It's a 1970 HY. He's owned it for 12 years. And I think he's had it here just about every of those 12 years. It's become a staple. Joe's an electrical engineer. The H-Man is his only Citroën now, but he used to commute in a CX. And he says his interest is all Roland Sotelo fault. Roland here? I don't know. The H-Man itself was an active fire truck until 1995. So from 1970 it was in service for 25 years in St. Remy and Normandy. It only had 22,000 kilometers on the odometer when he got it, though it had a few wrinkles from the years of hard work. How many miles have you put on it since then?
You have to go look, right?
Approximately.
Almost 56,000 kilometers.
56,000. So you put 34,000 kilometers on it. That's pretty great. What kind of top speed?
It says it's like 105 kph, but it's really only like 55.
And that's pretty noisy at that speed,
Yeah.
right?
It's hotter, 10 degrees hotter than the outside or colder, depending on where you want to be.
And I'm sure you get lots of smiles per gallon too, right?
Yes.
So has it been trouble-free, or have you had issues?
No, I've never really had any issues. I had a little bit of, it would get fuel starved going down a hill, but just had John put a new carb on it. It's all been solid since then.
Anybody have any questions about this really unusual vehicle?
What kind of mileage do you get on that per gallon?
About like 25.
Fluid in the tank?
What's that?
Fluid in the tank?
Yeah, yeah.
In a pinch. I like it. So, have you? I'm sure that when you go somewhere, you're like the head of the show, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you take it to other car shows?
Some, yeah.
Cool.
And I recently got a boat, so I'm towing a boat.
Oh, great. Is it a vintage boat too?
Yeah, yeah. Steam.
Oh, cool.
Steamboat?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the two of them together are like,
Like I said.
How many accidents have you caused?
none that I know of.
Very good. You
I
still,
don't have rear view mirrors, so I don't.
You still have the siren and everything on it?
Yeah, actually the siren and the light were stripped when they sold it.
I knew that
We found the original siren.
Oh, did you really?
If you've never been to France, that's a common sound. Or
That's a
Europe.
French
I want
siren.
one. Brad, can you find one of those?
I got it from a guy. It was new old stock Marshall in Australia. He said he had 20 of them.
But,
Some
but
years
it's
ago.
12 old, isn't it?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's 12
blast.
old.
Check on eBay.
Yeah.
Right there.
All right. Congratulations on a great meeting.
Thank you.
Oh, that's the one. Okay, the 72 SM1 down was owned by Cheech and Chong. This one was purchased in Atlanta, and he traded a Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing to get. No, that was to get the GT, or to get this one, or was that on the GT? To get this one. Okay. This car's had extensive work to increase the horsepower by SM World in California, and is now estimated to have a top speed of 156 plus miles an hour. And I hope you've never had it that fast. Does anybody have any questions for Ariel?
The dealer gave the owner of the trade-in, the Gullwing, $3,000. This is a much better car than a Gullwing. Anybody know about Gullwings?
A little bit.
They're dogs. It takes less than 3 or 4 guys to move them around. No power brakes, no power steering. They're dangerous in a corner on a wet road. They look beautiful, but they don't even come close to this. That's what I found out.
And they're very hard to get in and out of.
Yeah.
I have to tell you that Ariel also was once upon a time, he had a very rare Citroën Chaperon convertible sitting in his garage that I think a lot of people would have loved to have.
We don't want to talk about that.
That would have loved to have gotten that car, and he finally relented and sold it about 15 years ago. 10 years ago?
At least, yeah.
We don't talk about it.
That we don't talk about that car, so I wouldn't say anymore.
They are very rare.
But he's had a lot of Citroëns over the year, and we congratulate him. Nice to see you.
It was very cool.